Hi, I'm Melvin Dew, and this is my 3.6 multipliers retake. So, what is the multiplier effect using sketch notes? Over here, I drew a little comic on how the multiplier effect works. So how it works is initially there's going to be a guy who gets a bunch of money, and he's going to use that money on goods and services. This is his MPS where he's expending stuff. So he's going to give his money to, for say, McDonald's, and then McDonald's is going to take that money and give it to one of its workers. And in turn, that worker is going to go back and spend that money on another good or service. And that's why it's the multiplier effect, because the GDP goes up by a multiple, even though it's the same money, because um, the same money is spent a lot of times over and over and over. For number two, the government cut taxes by 300 billion, increased spending by 300 billion. So if MPC was 0.75, the max change in GDP would be 1.2 billion. And I got 1.2 billion by first finding my spending multiplier, which is 1 over 1 minus 0.75. So it's 4. 4 times 300 is 1.2 billion. And that, sorry, trillion. This should be trillion. Um, For B, what was the max change in GDP from a 300 billion tax cut? This is the tax cut equation where it's negative MPC over 1 minus MPC. So when you plug in the numbers, you should get negative 3. So if you multiply that by the tax cut, you should get negative 900 billion, which is actually an increase of 900 billion because it's a tax cut. So you're moving, so it's negative. Um, for C, why aren't these numbers the same? It's because A has a greater multiplier. So which fiscal policy will have a greater impact? It would definitely be A. If the MPS was reduced to 0.5, the multiplier would change to 2. And the old multiplier is 4. So this would make it less impactful because the multiplier decreased. And for question 4, if the impact was 500 million and the initial was 50 million, how you would find the MPC and MPS would to be putting this in all into an equation, which would be initial times multiplier is equal to 500 million. Multi equals 10 because initial is 50, so I divided it over here. And then the equation for multiplier is 1 over 1 minus MPC, and then you should be get 0.9 and 0.1 for MPS as they should add up to 1.